Melchizedek was married to Salem. So just remember that missing links, revelations, try to research and find things that maybe some of you haven't heard. And so I'm sharing just to give you something to think about. And I encourage you also to share things with me that you find that you don't hear many people talking about. Well, I don't hear many people talking about the fact that Melchizedek married and had 7 children. And so it says in The Hidden and Untold History of the Jewish People and Ethiopians by Dr. Fikra Tolosa, on page 4, it says there were 6 generations between Noah and Nimrod, according to our source. We know that Nimrod was a Cushite. Nimrod begot Admah, capital Adama, who begot Raphael, Rafaelb, who begot Sena, capital Caena, who begot Jeru, capital Gera, whose kingly and priestly name was Melchizedek, meaning righteous king or even king of righteousness. His forefathers occupied both royal and priestly offices as he did his father Hinna. Used to be called Abimelech, meaning the father of kings. God revealed to Senah and to his father-in-law in a vision that Jeru shall be called Melchizedek, and will become the wisest of the wise, and a righteous king, and a high priest of God, whose priestly order will be used by God when God becomes a high priest on earth someday, in the order of Melchizedek. Psalm 110, verse 4. Bearing this in mind, he sanctified him and trained him in a special manner to take the office of priesthood and kingship. Thereafter he crowned him, passed him on his wealth to him, paid him tithes, and prostrated before him despite the fact that he was his son. He also prophesied that other kings would follow in his footsteps and prostrate to him, seeking his blessings. Thus, Melchizedek became a great priest and king, highly revered by other kings who reigned in Canaan later. They paid him tithes, and he blessed them in return, recognizing the kingship and priesthood of Melchizedek. Even Abraham, who was neither a king nor a priest then, did the same thing. Melchizedek married Salem. To immortalize her name, he named the town he founded and built to be his capital, Jerusalem. Jeru, capital Jeru, means heaven. The first heaven of the 7 heavens, also called Iyor, capital Iyor, in the lost Suba language. Salem means peace. Thus, Jerusalem meant and means heavenly peace. There is one more Jerusalem in heaven. The earthly Jerusalem is a bad copy of the heavenly Jerusalem. Salem bore 7 children to Melchizedek, 4 girls and 3 boys. The names of the boys were Ethel, Hamuel, and Melech, or Abimelech, after Melchizedek's throne name. Ethel, commanded by God, headed for Ethiopia and became the king and father of millions of Ethiopians over a period of 4,000 years. Melchizedek's second son, Hamuel, became the king of the Persians and Babylonians. and gave a code of laws that went into history as Hammurabi's Code of Laws. His third son, Abimelech, reigned over the Lebanese and the Philistines, or Steins, now known as Palestinians. So I read from The Hidden and Untold History of the Jewish People and Ethiopians by Dr. Tolosa. I read from page 4 through to page 6. And so if we pull out the fact that Hamiel, the second son, became the king of the Persians and Babylonians and gave a code of laws that went into history as Hammurabi's Code of Laws. So we see that there is connection here through the Cushites having to do with the Hammurabi's Code of Laws. And so also there is a video that I want you to listen to that also talks about Melchizedek in the Suba language. So I just want to thank you. Thank you for listening. And we are on this journey learning things that have been hidden, covered over, or left out. But Father promised that He would give us knowledge. Those of us that seek knowledge, knowledge will be given to us. And that's what's happening to me. Father is giving me knowledge, and He's given many of His people knowledge during this time. So thank you for listening.
Tanay Siling, salam to each and every one. Ndam nachu, salam nachu. Greetings to each and every crew. Yes, we wanted to talk about the word, the name Ethiopia. Most people have in their mind that the word Ethiopia means something that has been darkened by the sun, which is again a Greek terminology. But as you know, the Ethiopian society has been existing for thousands of years prior to the Greek writings. So its source comes from the son of Melchizedek, the high priest of Salem. During the time of Abraham, Melchizedek had 3 sons and 4 daughters. The names of the 3 sons were Hamuel, Itiel, and Abimelech. So the one that was called Itiel, when their father Melchizedek was giving him a land of inheritance, he ended up inheriting lands that exist from the source of the Nile, which is in northern Ethiopia, until the ends of the Nile, which the river was called Gihon, which became known also part of the Lake Tana, which is also known as Blue Nile. So Itiel, which meant the gift of God, the word it meaning gift, the word El meaning the creator, like El Shaddai, Elohim, Elmas. But then when he got his inheritance, his father christened him with a new name. And that name was It-Yup, which meant the gift of the yellow gold. So the word Ethiop became known as Ethiopia. So that's where we find the word Ethiopia. And its origin, the word comes from Suba. So Suba was spoken from the time of Adam and Hewan, which was the first language. So when we are born, that language is actually within us. So it's a language that is still used even in modern day. Now, not many people are aware of this language as well, but it does exist. And so we just wanted to touch up on Suba and the word Ethiopia, where it originates from.